Hej, siemano wam wszystkim ludzie, z tej strony Arturo, witam was na swoim kanale i kontynuujemy Memento Mori 2. W dalszym ciągu znajdujemy się w galerii sztuki. Doszło tutaj do kradzieży. Dostaliśmy telefon od niejakiej Renier, a dokładnie Lara. Prawdopodobnie jest to jej szefowa z pracy. Lara też prawdopodobnie jest jakąś agentką FBI. Nie mam zielonego pojęcia, pewnie było to wyjaśnione w pierwszej części gry. W każdym bądź razie świętujemy z Maxem nasz miesiąc miodowy, który został przerwany właśnie przez telefon. Niestety policja nie była w stanie sobie poradzić ze znalezieniem wszystkich dowodów, no i to zadanie zostało powierzone Larze. Stąd znajdujemy się w tej galerii. Ale tak, odkryliśmy kilka śladów, m.in. na gablocie i przy oknie, ale nie mam zielonego pojęcia, co mam zrobić dalej. Znaczy, mogę przyjrzeć się oknie i są tutaj elementy, które mogę odkręcić. Kiedy wybieram klucz z nasadką...
It makes sense, but before I start taking down the windows, I should try searching using more decent methods.
To Max komentuje to w taki sposób, że nie odkryliśmy jeszcze wszystkich dowodów. Jedynie co mogę jeszcze obejrzeć, to tą gablotę, która znajduje się na dole. Niestety pokrywa szklana została podmieniona, a my znaleźliśmy pół odciska palców. Jest tutaj ta gablota, tutaj znajduje się odcisk palca. Ale czy coś jeszcze tutaj znajdziemy? Plama.
That's a drop of blood. I'd bet it belongs to the thief.
But there was no blood found on the display case glass.
Well, then he had to get cut somewhere else. Probably only slightly. Maybe when getting into the gallery? Let's go over what we've got. We have a strange fingerprint on the display case, and a drop of blood.
The fingerprint won't help us, and neither will the blood. Our department has worked on some cases here already, so I know a bit about that. In fact, they only recently started to create their own DNA database.
So only the window remains. Laura, there has to be something there, or we're out of luck. We have to find out if the window has changed since the theft.
Listen, you're starting to quite enjoy yourself with this investigation, aren't you? So let's go. We'll ask Cadlego.
Do you really think that there could be something there? That would be phenomenal.
It depends on what was done with the window after the theft. Did you replace it completely?
As far as I know, they kept only the frame. The broken glass wasn't good for anything, of course.
That's important information. So there could be some prints left on the window frame.
Of course. Where else? I trust you, Madame Durand. You'll surely find something out. Why, you've been doing so well up to now. I have to go now to arrange something, but I'll keep my fingers crossed for you.
No dobra, udało nam się znaleźć ślady krwi pod gablotą. Prawdopodobnie zostawił ją włamywacz. Niestety, w wydziale Lary dopiero otworzyli bazę DNA i nie możemy porównać tych śladów krwi z innymi. Ale prawdopodobnie będziemy mogli się teraz przyjrzeć bliżej temu oknu.
I've just thought of something.
Yes, Max?
Otwarcie okna.
If we're to examine that window properly, we'll have to remove the bar.
I was right. You're really enjoying it, aren't you?
Yeah, we could do that job of yours together. You'll do all the paperwork and I'll do all the fun stuff.
Koniec rozmowy.
No, it's nothing.
Okej. Podejdźmy zatem do okna i spróbujmy usunąć kratę. Mamy klucz nasadkowy. Tutaj są śruby. Spróbujmy zatem użyć klucza.
Wait, what are you doing?
I need to loosen it. There may be some important evidence here.
What were you thinking? You dismantled the security and then what? I'll have to watch that window at night, won't I?
But I'll put it back together, of course.
Sure. I suppose you do stuff like that on a daily basis.
Look, it's only one window grate, and Mr. Cadlego said we could do whatever we need.
I didn't hear anything like that.
Great. What now?
You've given up a bit too easily. Flatter her. Give her a gift. Just make something up.
Yeah. I'll think of something.
Recepcjonistka nie zgodziła się, żebyśmy zdemontowali kratę, a to ciekawe. Musimy ją w jakiś sposób przekonać, że jest to dobre posunięcie. Może będę mógł jej powiedzieć jakiś komplement i wtedy się zgodzi.
Do you think you could help me with something?
Sure. What do you need?
Usunięcie kraty.
Listen, be reasonable. Your boss asked us to come here to look for evidence, so please don't hinder us.
Maybe he did, but he didn't say anything about you taking things apart.
Are you kidding? How else are we supposed to look for clues? At least call him.
Mr. Catlego has an important meeting and doesn't want to be disturbed.
Oh, jeez.
Ślady krwi.
I found a small blood stain near the display case. Could it belong to the thief?
Well, it could. We didn't clean close to the display case. We were told not to.
So the blood has been there for some time already. Great.
Recepcjonistka nie zgodziła się, żebyśmy zdemontowali okno. Nie mogliśmy jej też w żaden sposób przekonać. Co ja w ogóle mam w ekwipunku? Mam ogrodniczki, klucz z nasadką 19 mm, częściowy odcisk palca, zdjęcia z galerii, obcęgi, skrzynkę z narzędziami, ołówek i klucz od samochodu. A czy recepcjonistka nie utrudnia nam śledztwa? Może ona wie coś więcej na temat tej kradzieży, tylko po prostu nie chce się przyznać. Dobra, musimy coś wykombinować, żeby ją przekonać do tego, żeby pozwoliła nam jednak zdjąć te kraty. Tylko tak, tu się już wszędzie rozglądaliśmy i wiemy, że nic stąd zabrać nie możemy. Możemy wyjść na zewnątrz galerii. Udać się na tyły. Bądź wrócić do samochodu. Okej, mamy mapkę. Cape Town. Możemy udać się na posterunek policji, z powrotem do galerii bądź do hotelu. Ja myślę, że na posterunek policji udamy się, kiedy uda nam się w końcu zdemontować kratę. No i zobaczymy, jakie odciski znajdziemy na oknie. Może w hotelu znajdziemy coś, co byśmy mogli przekazać recepcjonistce.
It seems the maid was here already. The bin is empty, the bed is made. It seems she even left something for us there.
Okej, coś leży na łóżku. Ręczniki.
Does one really need a clean towel every day? Every single day? Does one really need a...
Tu też coś mamy, identyfikator.
Someone will surely miss this. Maybe I should call reception and ask what to do with it.
Wzięliśmy identyfikator z łóżka, możemy mu się przyjrzeć. Patrecha Ngubane.
So it's clear. Probably a maid by the name of Patrecha Ngubane has lost her badge here.
Okej.
It states here, in case you find this, please contact the front desk, number 111. Thank you.
111. Tutaj po prawej stronie znajduje się telefon. No dobra, spróbujmy zadzwonić. Znamy numer, 3 jedynki.
Front desk? How can I help you?
Hello, I found a badge here, clearly from one of the staff. Name's Ngubane. Patrecha Ngubane.
That's very kind of you to let us know, Mr. Duran. Do you think you could leave it here at the reception desk when you pass by?
Of course.
Thank you.
Identyfikator musimy zostawić w recepcji. Ale my tak naprawdę do recepcji nie mamy dostępu, bo kiedy wychodzimy z hotelu, to automatycznie znajdujemy się na parkingu.
Funny thing, I found a badge in our room, and I caught its owner at reception. Her name was Ngubane, or something like that. And I got a box of sweets from her.
Nice. Should I be glad or jealous?
Well, it depends on how much of a competition you consider a 50-year-old slightly obese girl, and forgetful.
Definitely your type.
Sure, that's why I married you. Anyway, there's going to be a chocolate feast in the evening, so count on it. I know.
Otrzymaliśmy pudełko czekoladek. Ale wiecie co? Może gdybyśmy przekupili recepcjonistkę, dali jej pudełko czekoladek, to może przymknęłaby oko na to, jak zdejmujemy kratę z okna. Tylko że wtedy z Laurą nie będziemy mieli uczty wieczornej. No ale przy winku też można się fajnie bawić.
You can't take down those windows. I'm sorry, but it's not possible.
I think we got off to a bad start, Miss...
Fofana. Josephine Fofana.
We have a common aim, to satisfy Mr. Cutlego.
Do you think you can just talk me into it? Not going to happen.
I wouldn't think that. I would like to apologize for raising my voice. I know you're just doing your job. Here, take this, please.
Really? But this is awfully expensive. And actually, you're right. If you don't move anything, you won't find anything. You know what? Dismantle it. I believe you'll put it back together.
Oh no, you could be in trouble because of that.
What trouble? Dismantle that right now. I insist.
Watch it, handsome. Your wife may be around.
Married doesn't mean dead, sweetheart. I still have a few tricks that may come in handy.
No i proszę bardzo, czekoladki zdziałały cuda. Okej. Mam nadzieję, że Lara nie będzie zazdrosna o tą recepcjonistkę, aczkolwiek... No, Lara jest bardziej w moim typie niż ona. Dobra. Mamy klucz z nasadką.
The wrong socket's on the wrench. It spins around the bolt head.
Okej, musielibyśmy zamontować mniejszą nasadkę. Nasadka 9 mm.
A makeshift socket wrench. It's a good thing that the socket can be easily removed.
Czyli tak, 19 jest zdecydowanie za duża. Może spróbujemy z jakąś 14, 15? Albo 13, 12? Nie mam zielonego pojęcia. Strzelam. A za chwilę pewnie skomentuję, że ta nasadka jest za mała.
The socket doesn't seem to fit on the bolt. It's too small. That doesn't make it...
No właśnie, i teraz będziemy szukali metodą prób i błędów. Która z nasadek będzie tą właściwą? To może faktycznie spróbujemy 14. Albo 15. Jak to się mówi, do 3 razy sztuka.
The wrong socket's on the wrench. It spins around...
Czy jednak jest za duża? Czyli pozostały mi dwie możliwości. Albo będzie to nasadka numer 14, albo 13. Skoro 12 była za mała, a 15 jest za duża... Dobra, spróbujmy z tym. O, świetnie.
I don't see any clue at first sight, but I won't give up so easily. I'd better examine it closely.
Dobra, co my tutaj mamy? Mały gwóźdź.
Interesting. There's a small nail in the corner and something got stuck on it. If someone tried to climb through the window, it could be a piece of glove. Laura should know that.
A czy ja będę mógł tego gwoździa wyciągnąć obcęgami?
I'd better not. I should tamper with the crime scene as little as possible.
No dobra, pogadajmy zatem z Larą.
I've just thought of something.
Yes, Max?
Otrzymane czekoladki.
Unfortunately, we're not eating that box of sweets. I used it as a little bribe.
Do people still do things for a box of sweets?
For a box of sweets and my personal charm, that's a killer combo.
Don't exaggerate too much. There's a limit to everything.
Gwóźdź w okiennej ramie.
There's a small nail in the window frame, and something got stuck on it. It looks like it could be a piece of a glove. Maybe the thief injured himself there.
A piece of a glove. Did the thief tear it when climbing inside? That means we might find new fingerprints there.
And the other interesting thing, powder is used when taking fingerprints, right? But there's no trace of any, and the frame definitely doesn't look like it has been cleaned recently.
More proof of their laziness, although the frame is an ideal place. It's not touched by many, so if the thief left his prints there, it would be easily identifiable. Look, here comes Catalego. That's handy. Mr. Catalego, who all uses this window?
Well, most likely those 2 workers who were repairing it. And our cleaner.
A cleaner.
Yes, she cleans the windows here. Last time was a day or 2 before the theft. Then we waited until those bars were installed. She's coming the day after tomorrow, I think.
Before the theft, then?
Yes, I think that's it. Do you have a clue? Oh, please tell me you do.
I think we have. Because it seems that since it was cleaned, only those 2 workers have touched it.
And the culprit.
That's it. If a clue is here somewhere that was overlooked by the police, it has to be there. Laura, we just have to examine the frame properly.
I'll call Namusa to send us the dactyloscopy kit and to get the prints of those workers to compare. It's Durand. I have a favor to ask. A fingerprint kit, and the prints of the workers who were changing that broken window in the gallery. Well, it won't hurt anything, will it? I should think so. Goodbye.
He was happy, wasn't he?
Very. But they'll do it. Shouldn't we get back to the hotel? I'm tired and starving. Mr. Catalego, we'll continue tomorrow. I think we made considerable progress today.
You certainly did. You've left the police far behind. And don't mind the window grate. I'll have someone secure it for the night. Have a pleasant evening.
So you don't mind?
What?
The work. We were to relax and instead...
If it wasn't for your job, we probably wouldn't be together now.
I love you. If it bothers you, I'd give it up. I'll always put you before my job. Before anything else. You can't leave me. Ever.
I'm not going anywhere.
When you were getting the car, I was getting this. An Osram ne Nesorama amulet. A star and a moon. A pair of lovers. Inseparable. Take it. What do you think?
Nice. You know, I feel like I've seen it before. Anyway, is there a box of sweets, too?
You... Yes. Muriel. Well, hey, how are you? I see. That fragment wasn't enough. I was afraid that you wouldn't be able to find it in the database. Well, at least we tried. Thanks, and take care.
So nothing? Well, I'll go to Namusa in the morning and take that fingerprint kit. With a little bit of luck, Namusa will have those workers' fingerprints, too.
Okay. I'll watch that window in the gallery in the meantime, so that nobody adds any more fingerprints there.
I'll come ASAP. And please, turn that cell phone off now, will ya? Wasn't it better before? No cells, no emails. One could get lost and forget about everything.
It's not about the phone. If I want to, I can turn it off, like right now, and work will just wait.
Yeah, I can see that. Would you explain to her that a turned-off cell phone means do not disturb, please?
Muriel?
We've got a saying here, Missy. Anyone can come across a hornet's nest, but only a fool tries to play with it. Only a really big fool.
Who is this? Are you trying to scare me off by this?
You should be scared, because there's a buzz in the nest already. Leave it be. It's not your business.
Who was that?
Nobody. Just someone who confirmed that we're heading in the right direction. I can see right through you. What's wrong? Are you having the dreams again?
Just the opposite. I slept like a baby. It's just... Take care of yourself, okay?
You mean that call? I've had my share of them. If someone wants to do something, they do it and they don't call you in advance. That's the coward's way.
Thanks, that's really calming. Truly.
No dobra, rozpoczynamy nowy dzień. Lara dostała też telefon od prawdopodobnie włamywacza. Być może próbuje ją odstraszyć, żeby nie wykonywała tego śledztwa. Okej. My musimy udać się teraz prawdopodobnie na posterunek policji i zabrać sprzęt do zbierania odcisków palców. Lara w tym czasie uda się do muzeum i będzie pilnowała kraty w oknie. Co my tutaj mamy? Skrzynka.
Is there a sign saying supermarket outside? I guess not. So behave yourself. I don't know how you work at home, but here we don't just take stuff without permission.
Wow. Cóż za niemiły policjant. My tu prowadzimy śledztwo, chcemy pomóc, a jemu się to nie podoba. No ale wiecie, podważamy jego autorytet.
Laura would be glad to see that brochure. She disapproves of hunting. It seems cruel to her. I actually don't have an opinion about it.
Mamy kserokopiarkę.
The fan is off. I'd say it's not even plugged in. No wonder. The hot season is far, far away.
Kapitan Nomusa.
So what do you need?
Postępy w dochodzeniu.
Nothing new with you, is there?
The case is closed, Mr. Durand. I assumed you knew what that meant.
Zestaw do zbierania odcisków palców.
I would like to borrow that kit for fingerprints.
Do you think we haven't checked there before? Tell me, do you really expect to find anything?
Well, at least it won't hurt, right?
It's your lost time, not mine. Take the kit from the shelf. There's a sheet in it with prints of the two workers who worked there, but one of them, Nosy Niamela, wore gloves. I'll of course need your signature to record that you took the dactyloscopic kit.
No problem. Biuro kapitana Nomusy. Gdzie mam się panu podpisać?
The fan...
Formularz. Mamy długopis czy tam ołówek.
Well, since I wasn't offered even a mere ballpoint here, the pencil will have to do. Nomusa wants my signature, and he'll get it. So what?
Okulary przeciwsłoneczne.
I'm absolutely stunned. Is that normal for you, taking other people's stuff?
I'm sorry, I thought that someone just left them here. Are they yours?
No, just take them.
Okej. Zajumaliśmy okulary tuż przy policjancie.
The photo shows a likable middle-aged woman.
Prawdopodobnie żona Nomusy. Dobra, czy coś jeszcze będę mógł stąd zabrać?
Most of the text is in English, but I don't understand one part. I'd say it's in Afrikaans. There's a nice tie on the chair. Probably a standard outfit of local policemen. Nice habit.
Mamy też kserokopiarkę.
I don't know what to call.
Okej, no dobra. Podejdźmy do regału i zabierzmy sprzęt, który potrzebujemy. Skrzyneczka. Czy będę mógł zajrzeć do środka?
Closed case containing all that's needed to take things.
Być może będę mógł ją otworzyć dopiero wtedy, kiedy dotrze do galerii. Zajmijmy się zatem oknem. Potrzebujemy odciski palców. Ogólnie to nie wziąłem tego odcisków palców, które gdzieś tam powinny być. Ale dobra, może będę mógł powrócić do tego później.
I have here a fingerprint kit from our friend Nomusa. What about you? Have you found anything?
There's a blood stain on the window. I think we're heading in the right direction.
Great, so we'll look for those prints. Basic instructions for using the kit.
Instrukcja użycia zestawu daktyloskopijnego. Nabierz na pędzel niewielką ilość ninchydryny znajdującej się w fiolce. Delikatnie omień pędzlem powierzchnię, na której spodziewasz się znaleźć odciski palców. Po wykryciu odcisku palca zdejmij taśmę z folii zabezpieczającej. Delikatnie dociśnij taśmę klejącą stroną do odcisku palca, a następnie ostrożnie ją oderwij. Umieść taśmę z powrotem na folię, aby zabezpieczyć zebrany odcisk. W trakcie porównywania odcisków na miejscu ich zebrania należy pamiętać, że 2 odciski można uznać za tożsamość wyłącznie w sytuacji, gdy mają 10 wspólnych znaczników, specyficznych zaburzeń linii papilarnych. W przypadku częściowych odcisków, w szczególnych okolicznościach 2 odciski można uznać za takie same, jeśli mają wspólne 3 lub 4 znaczniki. Okej, czyli tak, musimy nabrać na pędzel niewielką ilość ninchydryny. Dobra, nałożyć tutaj na tą ramę, po wykryciu odcisku palca zdjąć taśmę. Okej.
This brush is used to deposit anhydrine on place where fingerprints may be.
Jeśli w trakcie rozwiązywania którejś z zagadek pojawią się wątpliwości związane ze sterowaniem, to możesz skorzystać z pomocy, którą uzyskasz po kliknięciu przycisku ze znakiem zapytania, znajdującego się w prawym dolnym rogu ekranu. Gra poinformuje cię, jeśli prawidłowo rozwiążesz zagadkę. Brak takiej informacji oznacza, że nadal jest jeszcze coś do zrobienia. Okej.
There's no powder.
Substancja klejąca, mały pędzel.
There's no powder on the brush. I won't see any fingerprints without it. There's no powder on the brush.
Ale w jaki sposób mam nabrać tą substancję?
I definitely...
Pojemnik z ninchydryną.
This is ninhydrin, a powder that adheres to fingerprints. I think it somehow reacts with residues left by human skin.
Okej.
There's no powder. The ninhydrin is spooned on a brush. A fingerprint. It looks a bit damaged, but it's better than nothing.
Dobra, widzę, że tu jest odcisk, to jest prawdopodobnie kolejny.
A fingerprint. It looks a bit damaged, but it's better than nothing.
Czy jeszcze są gdzieś jakieś takie zaciemnione ślady? Tutaj coś mamy.
There's no powder on the brush. I won't see...
Tutaj prawdopodobnie coś mamy. Albo mi się wydawało.
See? Someone got caught at the frame here.
Okej.
See? Someone got caught at the frame here.
Czyli mamy już 4 odciski.
There's no powder on the brush. I won't see any... A fingerprint. It looks a bit damaged, but it's better than nothing. There's no powder on the brush. I won't see any fingerprints without it.
Jestem ciekawy, ile jeszcze odcisków uda mi się znaleźć. Ale wolę przelecieć całą ramę dokładnie, niż jakiś odcisk palca pominąć.
A fingerprint. It looks a bit damaged, but it's better than nothing. Right. There probably isn't more of them here.
Okej, czyli mamy 6 odcisków palców.
I definitely don't need glue right now. Ninhydrin nicely highlighted the print on the frame.
Taśma klejąca.
It's weird that in the era of all these scanners, fingerprints are still acquired in such a primitive way. Anyway, it works and that's what matters. I just need to press down the sticky tape a little, and another fingerprint is ready.
Okej.
I just need to press down the sticky tape a little, and another fingerprint is ready. It's weird that in the era of all these scanners, fingerprints are still acquired in such a primitive way. Anyway, it works and that's what matters.
Max, nie marudź, najważniejsze, że działa.
I just need to press down the sticky tape a little, and another fingerprint is ready. It's weird that in the era of all these scanners, all the prints are documented. I can't do anything, so we have a print. What else?
Well, now we should mail it to a lab.
Can't we just compare it to those records that we have right here?
It's actually not that easy.
But we can try, right? You can send it for expert analysis as well.
Okay, let's have a look at it.
Okej, możemy się im przyjrzeć. Dobra. Sprawca znaczniki 3.8. Filipe N. Wosu, lewa ręka. Zamknij zbliżenie. Czyli rozumiem, że ten odcisk palca musimy porównać do któregoś z tych, które udało nam się zebrać.
Those fingerprints match. However, they don't belong to the culprit.
No pięknie. Filip N. Wosu. Czyli możemy wykluczyć ten odcisk palca. Co mamy tutaj dalej? No z tego raczej się wiele nie dowiemy. Ten jest strasznie rozmyty. Może z tego się czegoś dowiemy.
Those fingerprints match. However, since they don't belong to the culprit, they aren't interesting to us. I'll merge these two partial fingerprints and their markers into one. It will be easier to work with. I think that fingerprint is shaping up quite nicely. So, this print, that's something, isn't it?
To tell you the truth, you've surprised me a lot. Don't you want to do this as a career?
To spend whole days hunched over a microscope and earn less money than now? Yeah, that sounds very promising.
I thought so. Someone has to put that print through the database anyway. We can scan it somewhere and mail it.
What are you staring at? Should I go to her again?
I think she'll be much more receptive to you than to me. And she ate that box of chocolates we were to share, so let her try.
Okej, udało mi się zbadać wszystkie odciski palców. Przyznam wam się szczerze, że musiałem wam dociąć ten materiał, bo męczyłem się nad tym prawie pół godziny. Stracony czas dla mnie, ale nie dla was. Czyli co, rozumiem, że musimy porozmawiać z recepcjonistką, tak? Mamy też Katlego. Może zaczniemy od niego.
I can't think of any.
Okej.
Mr. Duran, how is the investigation going? Do you need anything? Something?
Pogawędka.
It's usually quieter in here, isn't it?
Well, I haven't been here long, but it's the first theft that I've heard of. But sometime it's a real adventure here.
Really?
Of course. For example, that terrible storm last night. I had to stay here really late and all that thunder and lightning. I certainly didn't feel too good about it.
No need to worry. Those thieves surely won't come back. I'm sure about this.
I know, but I'd feel better if someone came to pick me up. I have no boyfriend at the moment. But you couldn't care less, could you? Or... Of course not. Sometimes I talk way too much.
That's okay. I'm sure you'll find someone.
Okej, mamy tutaj romans. Dobrze, że Laury nie było blisko i tego nie słyszała.
I don't know what I should say to her right now.
Ale przyszedł mi jeszcze pewien pomysł do głowy. No bo mamy tutaj odcisk. Gdybyśmy przekazali to recepcjonistce, mogłaby go przesłać.
I know I might be asking a lot from you.
That's okay. You said it yourself. We have a common aim. Besides, unlike most, you are very polite. And you're a nice guy, too.
I found another fingerprint here. Could you send it to the same place as the last one?
Sure, no problem.
Yes, exactly. You too. Bye.
Mission accomplished, fingerprints sent. How long is it gonna take?
Hard to say. They'll put us at the end of some list, that's for sure. But I haven't idled about. I called a couple of places and I learned a little about those lost objects.
Like what?
Like, for instance, one of them is actually a double statuette with an interesting history.
Oh, you could ask me directly. I know these two statuettes only too well because we got them thanks to an undersea expedition we co-financed.
You lifted them from the sunken SS Maori, didn't you?
I clearly chose well. The exhibit is even more interesting because of the fact that a renowned law firm tried to take them from us by bringing all sorts of charges against us.
But you have rightful ownership now, don't you?
Lawyers of that firm represented some distant heirs of the original owners and wanted the statuettes to be returned to them. Fortunately, we have judges with common sense.
That's actually pretty interesting. Is it possible to find out who was behind it? Who was the previous owner? Maybe there's an inventory of goods the ship carried, and the name of the owner.
Well, you could try to ask in the harbor, and if it crossed your mind that the theft had been orchestrated by the original owners, then our thinking, Madame Durand, is quite similar. Well, hopefully this information will be useful to you. I have to run off and arrange something.
Mamy kolejny wpis w notatniku.
I've just thought of something.
Yes, Max?
Ładunek SS Mori.
Do you think the theft may be the work of some descendants of the statuette's original owners?
Well, we definitely can't dismiss that. At least until we find out who owned the statuettes transported by the SS Maori.
Yeah, we have to follow this lead.
Musimy sprawdzić ten trop. Czy pojawiła się nowa lokacja w mojej mapce? No mam przynajmniej taką nadzieję.
I don't know what...
W tej chwili z recepcjonistką nie mogę porozmawiać, ale okej. Wyjdźmy na zewnątrz galerii i udajmy się do naszego garbusa. Sprawdźmy, czy mamy nową lokalizację. Okej. No dobra, dotarliśmy do portu, moi drodzy, słuchajcie. W tym miejscu zakończymy ten odcineczek. Mam nadzieję, że wam się podobał, a w porcie rozejrzymy się w kolejnym. Dzięki wielkie, trzymajcie się i do usłyszenia. Hej!